Andrea Dorfman is a Canadian artist and filmmaker who's made several short experimental and dramatic films, feature films, documentaries, and animation pieces. However, arguably Dorfman's best and most influential piece of work comes in the form of 2010 short animated documentary film Flawed, in which stop-motion animation, and hand-painted watercolor images are combined to invite viewers on a journey of love and self-acceptance in relation to one's body image. As stated by Bill Nichols, documentaries have the ability to fall under any of 6 different modes of documentary, including the expository mode, poetic, observational, performative, participatory, and self-reflexive modes. These modes are easily identifiable within a documentary as they all possess distinct defining features. It is important to note that whilst these modes are different, they can interact and overlap to create a multimodal documentary. With this being said, Andrea Dorfman's Flawed is a multimodal documentary combining 2 distinct modes of the expository mode and poetic mode. Originating in the 1920s, common elements of the expository mode include the physical absence of an author or director, and thus the implementation of a narrator, an authoritative voice often referred to as the scripted voice of God. Directors or filmmakers, when producing their documentary, may choose to adopt the expository mode to inform viewers of a story or an ultimate truth, often aiming to educate viewers on the content matter of the documentary. Therefore, the expository mode is most traditionally used to propose an argument or impose a point of view on viewers, and additionally, simultaneously intertwining and contrasting with the expository mode, poetic modes of documentary are often artistic, expressive, and non-literal. It moves away from the objective reality of a given situation to grasp at an inner truth, often aiming to enlighten viewers. This is done through emphasizing visuals and the arrangement of footage to evoke an association through mood and tone. Throughout the entirety of the 6-minute short animation film, we do not physically see the filmmaker, Andrea Dorfman, but rather we hear her voice as she narrates her experiences with a potential new lover who is a plastic surgeon, and overcoming her shortcomings to accept her flaws. This intentional inclusion into the documentary lends itself to the specific characteristics of the expository mode of documentary, as the filmmaker is absent and viewers are subjected to the narrative voice of the author. Although this particular element of documentary aligns with the expository mode, Dorfman does not impose a point of view, nor does she try to teach viewers about a literal truth. Rather, Andrea, through the implementation of many poetic elements of documentary, such as the emphasis of visual elements like her watercolor drawings that tell a story alongside her narration. She moves away from the objective reality of her situation to guide viewers to an ultimate truth of the documentary, that in order for somebody to love you and for you to allow this love, you have to accept and love yourself, imperfections and all. This can be seen at 2 minutes 16 and 5 minutes 45 within the film, as she quotes, "It wasn't about him seeing me as flawed, it was about me. I felt flawed. And once I told him about my flaw and acknowledged it was a flaw, it stopped being a flaw." Here, she is acknowledging and accepting that she has flaws, but nonetheless not letting the flaw control her life any longer. Dorfman has a very unique, identifiable style that she imposes on each of her film's works. Throughout her short feature films and documentaries, she chooses to include many varying mediums to elicit emotional responses and convey a certain emotional meaning, often revolving around self-love and acceptance. Within Flawed, Andrea Dorfman uses the painting medium of watercolor to add a deeper meaning to the story she is verbally narrating. Through the use of watercolor drawings, viewers are able to physically see the story being set out, provoking a sense of truth to the story, allowing viewers to emotionally connect and grasp at an inner meaning. Dorfman's stylistic choices to engage viewers through visual elements emphasizes and reinforces the poetic mode of documentary, encouraging viewers to grasp an inner truth and an inner meaning and connect with the underlying moral lesson. Andrea Dorfman's Flawed is a short animated film that combines both elements of the expository mode and poetic mode of documentary that, through the use of her stylistic choices, takes readers on a journey of emotional takes readers on an emotional journey of self-love and acceptance.